All right, guys, new setup here. Please excuse the mess. We are back in America. We're back cooking. We have my cat on my lap. I'll show her if she wakes up. But aside from that, lots of cool stuff happening in the ecosystem that is crypto. One thing I wanted to talk about was SUI and what they're doing with Bitcoin. So like I said before, I don't really care about many chains. I only like Sol, SUI, Hype, maybe Base, maybe Abstract. 5 chains that matter. I think we need more dApps and usages than we do need chains at this point. So in this video, what I wanted to talk about and what I think is happening in a really cool way is that SUI is positioning itself to be the Bitcoin chain for on-chain stuff with Bitcoin. As we know, Ethereum and Solana and a bunch of other chains have wrapped Bitcoin that you can do some stuff with. But with this recent announcement with Lombard on SUI, I think they're in an objective stance to be the chain for Bitcoin on any other chain for DeFi, yield farming, and stuff like that. So for those of you that don't know, Lombard is a huge wrapped Bitcoin player. They have 2 billion TVL and they've minted over 20,000 Bitcoin on other chains. They just expanded to SUI. It's the first non-EVM chain that they expanded to. And basically what they're doing is bringing Bitcoin one-to-one onto SUI and other chains. The reason why I think this is interesting is because on SUI, there are many, I think like 10 different places that you can use that wrapped Bitcoin to get yield or LP or lending and borrowing with really high APY in a non-Ponzi type beat way. Again, they have cool stuff like this on Sol, but I don't think it's as provocative or sex as it is on SUI. So let's talk about that. So like I said before, this announcement basically says, yo, we're expanding onto SUI. If you want to do anything with lending, borrowing, LPing, staking, whatever else you want to do with our wrapped Bitcoin on SUI, you can do that. And I think, like I said before, there needs to be a chain that has objectively data-wise the most Bitcoin on it. I think right now it's Ethereum, then Sol, then SUI. But when I think about Sol and what it has going for it, I think it might be excelling, of course, the next 5 years in different areas. And I think if SUI wants to be that actual one-to-one competitor for Sol, it needs to have a unique point, a unique selling point. And I think that unique selling point is quickly becoming BTC on-chain DeFi. So for example, if you have 1 Bitcoin and you want to bridge it over to SUI, the fees are so low at some point, it's actually pretty free. So if you have Bitcoin and you want to put it on SUI or Sol, the actual like staking, putting it on chain is pretty easy. You just send it over and you get it one-to-one on that chain. But now on SUI, you can stake it and you can get rewards in deep. You can get points for platforms like Babylon or Lux points for their future TGEs. So right now, the biggest example that I can share is Bluefin. APY on wrapped BTC is 173%, which is absurd. And they're giving away fees to people that basically LP this position for others. This isn't even lending. This isn't even borrowing. This is its own different thing. So if you have Bitcoin, like 2 Bitcoin, and you're holding it, which is a lot of money, and you're not getting any sort of yield on it, and the appreciation or now depreciation isn't that good, you can now LP this and earn a hella APY on it. And this type of APY is really only on SUI. The amount they have on Sol and Ethereum is not competitive with this. And another thing that I like, on a lot of these protocols, aside from simple APY from like LPs and fees, you can also stake or LP them. So example on Navi, if you LP wrap Bitcoin, you get rewards not just in fees, but you also get rewards in Deep, a token for Deepbook, which is like the infrastructure behind a lot of these protocols. And not just Navi, but many, many different protocols, as you can see here. Bluefin, Navi, Sweeland, Kriya, Aftermath, Cetus, Turbos, many different protocols that you can borrow, land, LP, stake, blah, 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 and get a bunch of yield from Bitcoin that probably wasn't even going to be doing anything unless you did something like this on SUI. And that's really it. I just wanted to make this video to show people that if you are a Bitcoin maxi, which you should be, I think the best place for you to earn yield on it is mainly probably now on SUI. I think, again, Solana, Hype, SUI, the only 3 L1s that actually matter. But which one is objectively the best one to be positioned for BTC yield and DeFi? Definitely not Hype, and I don't think it's sold just yet. And in the past, and now with this recent integration of Lombard, I think that SUI is positioning itself to be the BTC DeFi chain. If you're interested in that, check it out. SUI!